You guys use the internet, right? Well, obviously you do, you're watching this video. But there's a lot to see on the internet. Things varying from really poor quality videos of people rapping to a 2-hour-long documentary on a man who played COD for a living. And in between that, you get something unique. Tally Hall.
You're making me cry, this is the way that I am. I've been living a life.
If you don't know what Tally Hall is, I don't blame you, but I'll give a quick summary of them. Tally Hall is an American rock band formed in 2002, originating from Ann Arbor, Michigan. The group consists of 5 members: Joe, Rob, Zubin, Andrew, and Ross. If you have trouble differentiating them, they all wear ties with specific colors so you can identify them through that. The band was officially formed at the University of Michigan, where they played most of their first shows. Their name originates from an indoor shopping plaza / food court named, well, Tally Hall. And within that shopping plaza was Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum, or MMMM, was an arcade / museum with coin-op machines and oddities. And Tally Hall, the band, also named their first album Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum. Marvin's Marvelous Mechanical Museum was released on October 24th, 2005. There was also a re-recorded version of it in 2008, but I personally don't like it as much, so we're just gonna stick with the original one. This is definitely my favorite Tally Hall album. There's just so much variety with it, going from a very Queen-esque rock song about bidding men off to whatever Banana Man is. It's just such a good album. It does a fantastic job of introducing us to what Tally Hall is. Fablu. You might be wondering, what is Fablu? Well, Fablu is the term Tally Hall made up to describe their music. Initially, they called themselves a wonky rock band, but thought that people might try to characterize wonkiness. Anyway, they do a great job of introducing themselves with their first 3 tracks: Good Day, Greener, and Welcome to Tally Hall. Good Day is a perfect way to show off the zaniness that can be in one of their tracks. Then, switching over to Greener, a song that, simply put, is about love. This song is yet another perfect example to show the other type of Tally Hall songs there are. If you listen to their music, you hear this throughout their discography. And then we have Welcome to Tally Hall. So far we've heard both the wonky and serious sides of Tally Hall. And then we get to this track. Welcome to Tally Hall does a fantastic job of introducing each member of the band. One of my favorite parts of the song is how when a specific member is named, their instrument starts to play. Just a really good way of both showing whose voice is whose and who plays what instrument. Now, I could go in depth on each of the tracks, but that'd be way too long for this video. If you want me to do a future video on that though, let me know down below. Anyway, on to their second album. Good and Evil is Tally Hall's second album, which was released on June 21st, 2011. Similar to their first album, this one has a bit of variety, but to a much lesser extent. This album includes a lot more acoustic parts than their first one. Unlike Marvin's though, the opening track for Good and Evil is a very slow and relaxed song called Never Meant to Know, and it's pretty nice. But the following track, And, is one of my favorites. I think that the opening tracks are similar in both albums because they show the contrasting types of songs by Tally Hall. And is a bit more exciting and zany, while Never Meant to Know is about love. Other than that though, there's not a lot of similarities between the albums. However, the ending in Good and Evil is just spectacular. The final track on the album is Fate of the Stars. It's nearly 7 minutes long and it never has a dull moment. Joe, Zubin, and Rob's harmonies are perfect during it. And of course, Andrew's singing adds a bit as well. But other than that, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on Good and Evil. Don't get me wrong, it's a great album, but I generally still prefer Marvin's since it has more variety. Now, let's meet the actual members of the group. I'm gonna start off with Joe since he's personally my favorite, and yes, before people in the comments mention the dog, I know. In no way do I condone the things Joe Hawley did or said, but I've learned to separate art from the artist. If you're curious what I'm talking about, just Google Joe Hawley doc and you'll see. Anyway, Joe Hawley is the red tie. Joe was one of the guitarists and who I consider to be the main vocalist. He generally has written a lot of the zanier songs like Banana Banana Man, The Bidding, and He's also the lead vocalist on a lot of songs as well. He also ventured off into his own musical endeavors, releasing his self-titled album Joe Holly on October 22nd, 2016. It's a pretty solid album, honestly, but it is a little bit of an acquired taste. Joe also released Hawaii Part 2 under the pseudonym Miracle Musical, and this album is quite literally a masterpiece. It honestly is an experience to listen to. White Ball, The Mind Electric, Dream Suite in C Major are only a few of some of the great tracks on the album. It's just, well, I can't really articulate it. I don't know if there's really a word in the English language to describe it. I just love the album dearly.
Courtesy of nimble little fingers.
Next, we have Rob Cantor, the Yellow Tie. Rob is a guitarist and one of the main vocalists. Like Joe, he's also done his own musical projects. His most famous, though, is his video Shia LaBeouf Live. Yes, I mean the one that garnered 72 million views on YouTube. Anyway, other than that, Rob has released an album called Not a Trampoline, which is a bit different from Tally Hall and is kind of more poppy. However, he does actually feature a song by Tally Hall on it called I'm Gonna Win. Well, it's initially called All of My Friends and has different lyrics, but it still is a Tally Hall song. Anyway, a few good tracks off of Not a Trampoline are Flamingo, I'm Gonna Win, and Perfect. But like I said, it's a little bit different from Tally Hall. After Rob is Zubin. Zubin was the bassist and was one of the lead vocalists for a lot of songs. He's the blue tie. Unlike Joe and Rob, though, Zubin hasn't gone into music. Rather, he studied medicine at Touro University in California. But he has contributed to a few side projects before. One example is how he provided the vocals for White Ball on Hawaii Part 2. Other than that, though, there hasn't been a whole lot going on with him. But back in June, he did do an interview type of thing with Andrew. It's pretty interesting to see them talk about what's going on in their lives. I'll leave a link for it down below. Andrew's the green tie. Andrew was the pianist and sometimes a vocalist for Tally Hall. He wrote a lot of Tally Hall songs, and he's one of my favorite members for that reason. He also did some vocals for a few songs, eventually getting his own song where he was the main vocalist. Nowadays, he's a music producer, but he has done his own solo project called Adieu, and it's pretty unique. I'm not really a big fan of it or anything, but it definitely has a nice sound to it. Now we have Ross, the gray tie. Ross was/is the drummer for Tally Hall. He did some vocals like at the end of Hymn for a Scarecrow and when they performed live, but that's about it. Anyway, since Tally Hall, Ross moved back to good old Ann Arbor, Michigan and finished his degree at the University of Michigan. And after graduating in 2013, he's now a PhD candidate in immunology at Yale. But Ross has done a little bit of music since Tally Hall. In 2012, he assisted Joe Holly in the creation of Hawaii Part 2 and helped Rob Cantor with his album Not a Trampoline. However, other than that, he hasn't done a whole lot music-wise. Borah is the honorary 6th member of Tally Hall, sporting an orange tie. Borah contributed a lot to the band, though. He created the Borah log videos, which, by the way, you should definitely give a watch. He was a roadie for the band, and he was a touring member for the band also. Not only that, but he had his own section on the Tally Hall internet show. Speaking of which, Tally Hall's internet show was a sketch-based comedy that had 10 episodes that usually were 10 minutes long. There's also a couple of bonus episodes which I really enjoy, mainly their South by Southwest one. Anyway, the show was really well written, and it's such a shame that not many people out there have seen it. My favorite segment throughout the series, though, is the Dream Journal one. It's really the best representation of dreams I've seen before. Like, look at this.
Yoga's one thing. I prefer yoga. Pilates? Really? I mean, yoga's one thing, but bow tie. It's a bow tie. That's it. It's a bow tie.
They nailed it. All of the episodes are on YouTube, by the way, so please feel free to check them out. Also, another thing featured in their internet show are their music videos. Tally Tally Hall's music videos are probably my favorites. They're so well edited and tell a story a lot of the time. My personal favorite though has to go to the music video for Good Day. The way the background color matches the person's tie when they show up on screen is really a nice visual, and also the constant background changing is a nice way to keep the viewer engaged. I also like the various TV parodies they do, but one of my favorite parts is at the end when they have the layered screens. Not sure why, I just really love it. Good times. And that's Tally Hall, a small rock band formed in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I'm sure I and many others hope they come back from their nearly 10-year hiatus now. Almost 2 years ago though, they digitally released their cover of Just a Friend, which I thought was pretty cool, but I guess we'll have to wait and see if they have a third album that's gonna come out. Thanks for watching everybody, I hope you enjoyed. Tally Hall is such a big part of my life. Their music would help me a lot during some rough patches, and I just love their overall style. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe even. Also, if you want to see more content, I have a Twitch which is linked down below, so feel free to drop a follow and tune in. Anyway, I'm gonna head out for now since somebody has been pounding on my door for the past 45 minutes, so I'll see you guys around. Sayonara.
I have a wonderful wife, I have a powerful job. She criticizes me for being egocentric.